about my research and then how it links to one of the goals of SDGs. So my research is basically centered around a relatively new concept called emotional dampening. It is a new psychological concept. It refers simply to a reduced emotional responding to elevated blood pressure. That is, people having elevated blood pressure show poorer emotional experience and poorer emotional recognition. So my research is actually addressing some of the gaps that exist in previous researches. For example, this concept has been established taking people who have normal blood pressures, but we just want to see if the same extends for people who are in the pre-hypertensive range. That is, they are at the risk of developing hypertension, they have higher blood pressures, and those who are hypertensive, frankly hypertensive. So that is one of our issues. Secondly, what the earlier researchers did, they presented static facial emotion photographs to the participants and asked them to label the emotions. But in real life, do we really go about labeling emotions? Emotions are processed automatically, respond to them automatically. That is more real and lifelike. And emotions are not only processed in the visual sense. You're talking on a phone, you can infer if somebody's crying over there. You can process emotions auditorily. And most often it's bimodal or cross-modal. You process both simultaneously. So in my study, I'm trying to look at that too. And we're trying to, like this is the research part that I did in India, we present them with faces. We don't ask them to label the emotions. We assess emotions indirectly. We just say, oh, it's a simple task. Just complete the face, the target face, just complete. Which one will go? So when they do that, we can just infer if they have correctly recognized the emotion. So this is the visual sense that we do. Then similarly, there is an auditory counterpart. I'm not going to play that. Then there is cross-modal kind of thing, as you can see. So this is the part that I did there. In UK, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to establish a physiological indicator, physiological marker of this problem, emotional dampening. So that will help in understanding the mechanisms underlying the development of hypertension. And particularly in India, what I have done. So in that I saw that the visual, when people are asked to recognize emotions in the visual sense, they are more dampened as compared to auditory sense. That also can have important implications for the mechanisms because it affects one modality but not the other. So this is basically the task that I'll be doing here. Participants are presented some emotion-arousing scenes, and all of a sudden they are presented with a loud noise burst, and they have a startle response. And that startle is recorded using EMG placed under their eyes. They have startle eye blink. So that is what I'm doing here. And how it relates to the SDG, and as Professor Keith Lewin yesterday said, but to call it good development goals. So it is related to goal 3, ensuring healthy lives and promoting well-being, particularly the section 3.4, which says our aim is to reduce 1/3 of the premature mortality resulting due to non-communicable diseases. And hypertension is a major problem, particularly in India, given the fact that it has a very large population. Hypertension is a silent killer. Many people don't recognize that they have the condition. And the number of hypertensives by 2025 is projected to increase to 214 million. So it is one of the most recognized risk factors for other coronary heart diseases and other deaths. So what my research is going to add, first of all, it will help me in identifying the central nervous system changes that precede or go parallelly with hypertension so that we can design interventions to control this condition. Secondly, it may explain the medication non-adherence in hypertensive patients. That is a big problem facing all the physicians all over the world. Particularly in India, the researchers have shown that a poor patient-physician relationship, poor quality of relationship, is mainly responsible for medication non-adherence in hypertensives. And I think one of the factors can be emotional dampening. They are not able to establish that emotional bond because due to their condition, due to their high blood pressure, they are deficient in experiencing and expressing emotions. So that can be one of the factors, and we need to work on that. Thirdly, it will help in formulating intervention strategies that are focused on managing emotions, and it will try to minimize the dependence on medication for controlling hypertension. Rather, it will focus it on managing emotions to control BP. And I have the future goals as I'll try to make sure that my findings, the research findings, are available to a big number of people through different ways. And I'll try to teach and train other people in my country in the use of EEG, EMG, etc., so that more scientifically rigorous studies can be undertaken. And I also wish to undertake postdoctoral research work to further explore the psychophysiological mechanisms underlying hypertension. And this is a project that is very soon going to begin in India, and they have highlighted 4 priority areas. One of that is hypertensive disorders. They're trying to get some kind of a intervention technique and also a quick diagnosis of hypertension so that we can detect it quite early and then manage it. So I would like to work with them and try for that. Thank you.